Hey guys, it's Tamara Bennett from Southern Adoornments Decor. I'm so excited to be back with you guys again today because we're going to be painting this really cute little Zinnia circle monogram door hanger. Last night on Facebook Live, we cut this out on the Glowforge machine. So if you missed that, go back and watch it. It was last night. And I made a very exciting announcement last night that we are kicking off 30 days of Facebook Live. So starting yesterday, for every day for 30 days, we're going to be live here on Facebook sharing something with you. It might be something with painting, it might be Procreate, it might be laser cutting, you just never know. So if you want to join us every single time, I'm going to advise that you guys sign up for our text messages. I'll put the text number in the comment, or I'll have Aaliyah put the text number in the comments if she can. It is 270-2... so what?
It's going to be under me.
Oh, it's going to be under Shan's name. Sorry, not Aaliyah's. 270-207-9091. And if you will text that number, you'll get notified next time I go live. Hello, Laura from Arkansas. Hey, Tammy. It's already getting hot in here with all the ring lights. So I'm going to ask Shan to go turn the air conditioning down. We have a protocol for Facebook Live. When I turn all these lights on, you see the lights reflecting my glasses. When I turn all the lights on and everything, it gets hot in here. Hey, Patsy from North Carolina, welcome. We're trying out something different today. For a while, you guys have been seeing me on live with the side-by-side, and that's a lot of fun, but I feel like my Facebook Lives aren't being seen by as many people when I'm going live that way. I think Facebook doesn't like me doing that. So for today, we're going to test and do it live this way, which is the way that I used to do it all the time. And we're going to see, if more of you guys are able to see it. Hey Marie, she said this one's pretty. I can't wait to see it painted. Thank you. I'm excited about it too. So today the plan is to paint this piece, and then tomorrow I'm going to come back live with you guys and show you how to add a monogram right to the center using a printed letter that you're just going to print out like on your home computer, and a piece of graphite paper. No, Johnny, we're not on YouTube today. Sorry about that. We're just on Facebook, going live just from Facebook for the next 30 days. We will be taking these lives and downloading them and uploading them to YouTube. So if you prefer to watch on YouTube, you'll be able to do that there. It just won't be live. Stephanie says she likes this angle a lot better. Well, good. Hi, Betsy from Alabama. I love y'all's feedback. So anytime you guys let me know what you like, I appreciate that. Eileen likes it too. Hello, Leanne. All right, let's go ahead and get started painting. For those of you who are interested, you can buy the template for this design at shopdoorhangers.com. And you can print it out yourself and cut your own piece of wood or use it on your laser machine if you have one. Or if you don't want to cut your own piece of wood, you can buy the wooden blank from us, and it will come with the design laser etched in the surface, so you don't have to freehand anything. Hold on, I was going to open this paint and it is like flaking dry paint all over everything, and it needs shaking, so will you shake that up real quick while I clean up my mess? It's like flaking dry pieces of paint from the edge of the lid all over everything, and it was all separated up at the top. You can see my painting piece better. Oh, good to know. Thank you. Tammy likes this angle. She said we can see you and the pretty. Hey, Pat. Good morning, Pam. All right, so we're using the Outdoor Living by Decor. This is an exterior-interior paint. It has a sealer built right in, and this is just white. So I'm going to give the main part. I'm not going to give the flower a base coat of this, but I am going to give... Actually, I could go ahead and give the flower a base coat of this because it would make it a little easier when I go to paint the colors on the Zinnia. I will already have a base coat of white, and I think the colors will cover better. I did, after I cut this on the laser last night, go over all the lines with a Sharpie because I didn't laser etch them in deep enough. I've got to adjust my settings for it to be seen through the paint. So to just make sure that I could see it, I went ahead and covered it with Sharpie, so if that's why the lines are black, if you're wondering. But we're just going to go ahead and paint right over those Sharpie lines with this paint, and I'll still be able to see them underneath. And around the outside of the circle area out here are going to be stripes. The inside will stay solid white. Marie said, I love the Painters Clubhouse opening day sign too. The pattern around it is awesome. Okay, so Marie, funny little, not funny, but like interesting little thing about this sign behind me. I did record myself painting it. So we have a tutorial for it that is going to be a bonus for the people who sign up for Painters Clubhouse. And current Painters Clubhouse members will get that tutorial as well. So Painters Clubhouse opens on August 23rd. So if you're interested in learning how to paint door hangers, be sure to circle that date on your calendar, and that little sign that's hanging up behind me will be one of the bonus tutorials you'll get if you sign up on the first day.
Is that paint thicker than Americana?
Laura, I do believe it is a little thicker. It feels thicker. When I'm, smearing it back and forth, the viscosity feels stickier, thicker. And I feel like I'm having to go back and get more often. Like it doesn't spread as far. So it really is a good base coat. And the people at Decor told me that this kind of paint is great for base coating a door hanger because it has that sealant built into it. So it's automatically going to protect this side of the wood since you're base coating it. I don't do that on every piece that I have, but it would be a good practice if you wanted to start base coating your pieces with a sealer. This would be a good one to use. All right, now that I've got it covered, I'm just going to take my brush and just try to smooth out those brush strokes. Oh, I got a little spot over here that's coming through. And I'm also going to dip my brush in a little bit of water because it's dragging, and that will help me smooth out those brush strokes. A little bit more paint, a little bit more water. Good morning, Dorothy. Where did you get your glittery paint brushes? Samantha, these are from Murals and More by Jamie Connor. She makes and sells them. She even has a Glitter Brush of the Month club. If you want to buy one of her brushes, you can actually save $2 on the purchase of a brush using the code Tamara, T-A-M-A-R-A, and the number 2. I have this one that is gold, so pretty. And then I have this one that we're going to be using next, which was in my Glitter Brush of the Month club. It's an angle tip brush, and it's got flamingo glitter on it. Okay, now that I've got this covered, got all my brush strokes smoothed out, let's go ahead and dry it real quick. I'm blowing the paper away. I'm laughing because Wanda said she is watching me from her master bedroom TV right now. So my head is probably this large on your television. I'm going to try not to think about what that probably looks like. I'm going to switch to a slightly smaller brush now. And this one has some crazy bristles going on. And I'm going to add another coat of white to this area down. Actually, no, I'm going to switch back to the bigger brush. I didn't think about it. I am going to do another coat through this entire area, just not on the flower. Do a good second coat because I want this white is going to stand out next to the black stripes that are going to go around the edge, so we need it to be nice and crisp. We don't want it to look dull or look like the wood grain is showing through. Shannon, could you get me a egg carton out of the closet? I forgot to get one, and I'm going to need it when I start using the other colors. Let me get a little bit of water on my brush. If your paint feels like, sometimes when you're doing your second coat, your paint may feel like it's dragging real bad, and it's gripping that paint underneath, and it can get kind of frustrating because you feel like you can't smooth it out. Just get a little bit of water on your brush, and that should solve the problem.
Little big butt.
It's okay. I'm all out of the little 12 hole egg cartons. I only have the 18s right now. So this is what we're working with, even though we don't have this many colors. I suppose I could cut it in half then it wouldn't be quite so large. I need to go visit the school supply section at Walmart and get some new scissors because my other ones are getting kind of old. I saw somebody said they were watching from Brazil too. That's really cool. Welcome. Okay, the next thing we're going to do is I want to add a little bit of a shadow. Notice how in our example photo there's a little bit of shading around that circle. It almost makes the circle look three-dimensional. I'm going to add that to the center of this circle. So I'm going to use a little bit of this gray sky paint. It's a Decor Americana color. And I'm going to get my angle tip brush. I'm going to dampen it a little bit with water. And then I'm going to take and put some of that gray sky color on the toe or the long part of my angle tip brush. And I'm just going to swoop that down and around the edge of that circle. Pick up a little bit more. It's kind of tricky to get this, but you got to do it while that white is still wet. I'm going to probably get quiet here for a second while I focus on making sure I get this nice and rounded. Shan's taking pictures, so if you're at click, she's taking pictures for a blog post. Somebody said, the best scissors I have are from Damon at Deco Exchange. Kathy, I didn't know he sold scissors. I'm going to have to go get some from him. He cuts a lot of ribbon, so he probably would know which ones are good. All right, so now the paint is drying pretty quickly, so I'm just getting a little bit of water on my brush. No more extra paint, just a little bit of water. And I'm just using that water to smooth out the paint that's already on the piece. And you just want to start going back and forth and pulling it so that the paint is kind of pulled inward a little bit, and that softens how dark it is on the edge and adds that shaded effect. If you're a newbie painter, this part may be super intimidating. You can feel free to skip it if you just want to have a flat white circle. I didn't start using shading techniques until just like the last couple of years. I've finally gotten more comfortable with it. It was just something that always intimidated me. But now I kind of find it fun. It's like a new challenge for me to add a little bit of shading to my pieces. Okay, let me show you what this looks like. Do you see how we added that shaded edge? And it's darker at the very edge of the circle, and then it fades inward. And so we just added a little bit of gray on the toe of that angle tip brush. Hang on, I see a little spot right over here. Let me get some of that water off. See that little spot right there? Now if you go back and forth with just a damp brush, oh, I just dripped water on my door hanger. If you go back and forth with a brush, kind of like sweeping, you can almost like erase any little spot that looks a little harsh. It looks a little harsh right here. A little back and forth sweeping motion with a clean, damp brush. You don't want water dripping off your brush, so just tap it off on a paper towel a little bit. Okay, now that we got it, what do you think? Karen just got done doing water aerobics. That sounds like a fun workout. I just got paint all over my hand too. Hang on, let me fix this little spot where my fingertip was touching it. Okay, I think I got it. What has everybody else got planned for today? Hey, Kath, welcome. Finally found me. I'm here. This is where I'm always at. Let's see. Thank you, Diane. All right, so next, let's go ahead and dry this, and we're gonna add our, let's see, we'll add our stripes next. Lisa said she can't wait for Painters Clubhouse to open. It's opening August 23rd. Somebody else was asking about the sign behind me. It's to remind you guys what day Clubhouse opens back up. So circle that date on your calendar or tell Siri to remind you whatever you got to do in order to sign up on that day, because it'll be open for 3 days, August 23rd, 24th, and 25th. But if you sign up on the first day, you get all the bonuses that we're going to release. And one of the bonuses is how to paint that sign. So definitely make sure you sign up on that day. Salsa Carrie said she's going to Wreath Makers Live. We got to see Damon this past weekend when we were in Nashville, and I feel so bad for him. He was flying back home to Louisiana, and the very next day he was flying to Dallas to get ready for Wreath Makers Live. And I saw where Brooke Riley was laughing in his comments on Facebook about how he just needs to have a suitcase packed at all times and sitting by the door. That way when he's coming and going, he can just grab that suitcase and go. But if you know Damon, he wears flip-flops and swim trunks and a graphic t-shirt every single day. So it's not like he would need an elaborate, and thank you, sweetie.
Good morning.
Good morning. What time is it?
Well,
It is
11:16.
11:18 and he just got out of bed. That's on being a 14-year-old. By the way, I am in Kentucky. I saw somebody asking where I was from. Kentucky. Okay, this is almost dry, so I'm going to hit it for just another second. If you have any questions, go ahead and ask them, and I'll answer when I'm done. I do think that this exterior interior paint, it probably takes a little longer to dry than normal because it still feels just slightly sticky. So to avoid that, we're gonna skip and just paint up here because this only has one coat of the outdoor living paint on it. So we're just gonna go ahead and paint maybe our leaves on this flower first, and then we'll go with our stripes. So the colors I have chosen for the leaves are Jewel Green and Hauser Dark Green. So 2 colors of green. That way we can do some shading. And if you guys will, I would love if you comment and let me know in the comments if you're thinking about joining Painters Clubhouse, or maybe you already are a Clubhouse member. Are you interested in learning to paint door hangers? We're going to be giving away some Happy Mail. So leave us a comment. Let us know what you're thinking, if that's something you'd be interested in doing.
Hannah's pinned the link for the brushes.
Oh, thank you. Hannah put the link in for the brushes for you guys, if any of you guys were wanting it. Somebody said, what was the name of this? Oh, it went away too quick.
What was the name of the stuff you down before the glitter? Oh, the glitter grabber.
Oh, the glitter grabber. That's what you're asking me about. So this was the stuff I used last week that you guys were interested in. It's a glitter base coat. And some of you guys said you were having a hard time finding it. Somebody on TikTok said they went to all the stores and couldn't find it. It is at Michael's. So I wonder if that was the one store she didn't go to. So you can find it at Michael's. Hello, Pam. Somebody else said, I'm thinking about it. Lynn said, what did I miss? Well, we're just painting a door hanger with a zinnia on it. And we're going to do some stripes. Right now I'm going back to my angle tip brush. And I'm going to use 2 colors on my brush at the same time because I spent some time this weekend with my friend Erica Wallace. If you guys know her, she's from Wallace House Designs. And she was giving me tips on how to paint green leaves. So I'm going to try to apply those tips now to what we're doing. So she puts the darker color on the heel of the angle tip brush and the lighter color on the toe. So we're going to try that. Darker color on the heel, lighter color on the toe. And this is what it looks like. And now we're going to go ahead and do our leaves. So I'm just going to start with, let's start with a little leaf because this is intimidating me to do this live with you guys, and I'm not used to doing leaves this way with 2 colors. So she said put the toe, which is the shorter part, on the outside of the leaf. So the long part's on the inside. So I'm just going to start up here at the tip of the leaf and pull my brush down and inward. And then just go back up and repeat that. I think my brush is a little dry. It's almost not dragging the paint where I want it to drag. I got my brush a little damp. Okay, now flipping the brush over, we're putting the heel on the outside of the other side of the leaf. And I think I had too much paint or too much water on my brush because now it looks like watercolor. So we're gonna have to get some more paint and do this again. I think this is definitely one of those things that's just gonna take me some practice.
And there's pictures of it.
What are y'all talking about?
Nothing like doing something difficult and then pictures of it.
Oh yeah, nothing like doing something difficult and learning something new while somebody's snapping pictures of you and you're doing it live in front of 400 people. Somebody said blend it and it'll do better. Thank you for the tip, Dawn. Okay, I've reloaded my brush. We're gonna go again. Why is it not, I wonder if it's this base coat. It's like it's not sticking to it. Let me show you what I got going on here. What is going on? Anybody know? The paint is not sticking to the background. It's frustrating me. All right, I'm gonna just only put the lighter color and maybe just paint one whole leaf and then do a color on top of that. Maybe if I get a base coat of the green down and then do the shading on top of that. Try again. I'm not giving up. We'll do that on this one also. I love this jewel green color though. It's a new color by Decor. I think it came out in 2021, and so it's like a real pretty soft jewel green. Actually, that's the name of it, jewel green. It's a jewel tone. Okay, first happy male winner. You ready? Jenny. Okay.
Valenzuela.
She always has to tell me how to pronounce last names. Jenny Valenzuela. Congratulations, Jenny. Send us an email at info@southernadornmentsdecor.com and give us your address, your mailing, snail mail address. I was getting tickled because they told me that some of you guys were emailing in and giving us your email address. No. We need your street address if we're going to send you some actual some happy mail, snail mail in the mail. So send us your address. Okay, I'm going to do a base coat on this leaf.
Marie Mosley says some colors you just have to base coat with that lighter color and then go back and double dip.
Good to know. I don't do this technique often. I've only tried it a few times, and so it's pretty new to me, but I'm determined to get the hang of it. So I'm base coating this with the jewel green. I feel like the color is drying faster on top of this base coat too, which is interesting. Let me go back and do one more coat of the jewel green on this. For those of you who've done like the one stroke painting techniques and stuff like that, y'all are probably giggling at me. Maybe I'm doing this 100% wrong. This is not meant to be done in one stroke, but it's similar to that technique with like double loading your brush with the colors. So I'm sure I'm doing it wrong. It's totally okay though. Lynn says, I love being in Painters Clubhouse. I've learned so much I've never painted before. Aw, I love you saying that. Thank you. Brandy says, what did you do, or wait, so what? Did you just show people how to paint?
We have several people asking what Painters Clubhouse is.
What is Painters Clubhouse? Maybe I need to do a whole live on what that is sometime during my 30 days. But in a nutshell, it's my membership where I teach you every month how to paint door hangers. So we always have at least one, maybe two guests come in as well, and they will teach a technique or they'll teach how to paint an entire door hanger in their style. But I always teach at least one door hanger in the clubhouse. And then we have like Zoom paint parties and stuff like that where you can show up and paint with other door hanger painters. Paola is typing to me in Spanish.
Mm-hmm. She says, I love your works. You are very talented.
I could understand I couldn't exactly put it into English, but I could understand. I can read and understand Spanish better than I can write and speak Spanish, if that makes sense. It probably doesn't, but I'm more fluent in reading Spanish than I am in writing or speaking it. I took several years of it in high school and college. Okay.
Brandy's second question is, do you have kits or groups?
No. Oh, not yet. No, we don't have kits or anything like that. We do sell the wooden blanks like this on our in our shop at shopdoorhangers.com. And of course, Painters Clubhouse members save 20% on every purchase that they make in that shop. So, you know, if you want to buy wooden blanks, you could use your discount code. We do have a group on Facebook that you can join for free called Door Hanger Painting Tips, and it's just a community where you can post photos of your work and see other examples of door hanger painting. I forgot about this leaf right here. Let me go back and paint that one green. There we go. All right. We're going to give this another shot. You ready? Somebody said the clubhouse sounds like fun. Are the door hangers included? So what's included is the templates, the printable templates, similar to this, but it's a black and white version that's much larger that you can print out. You can tape it on your wood and cut out your own wood pieces, or you can use them in a laser cutting machine. So you get 2 of those every month in the clubhouse to go along with each tutorial that we teach. If you want to buy the wooden blanks mailed to you, you would just have to buy those separately, but you could save 20% on those purchases. Okay, I'm going to give this another shot, loading my brush back up again with the 2 colors. Did I miss any questions earlier about that, Aaliyah?
No.
Oh, that looks so much better. So much better. Definitely a lot better. Okay, here's the second go of it. Way better. Okay, let's do this one now. Loading my brush again, double loading it. Put the dark color on the outside and the short part of the heel on the outside. I'm saying this just as much as I am for me as I am for you, to remind myself which side things go on. I've noticed it almost takes about 2 coats for me to really get it in there the way I want it to show up, to get it thick enough.
Paula's asking when you're doing your nighttime class this fall. Is she talking about that?
I think she's talking about the challenge. So some of you guys have been asking for a sneaky peek of the workshop that we're going to be doing in August, and so the sign-ups for that will begin August the 2nd. So if you guys would like to see a sneak peek, let me know in the comments. If so, I've got it sitting right down here on the floor. I could totally pull it up here and give you guys a sneak peek. Yeah, let's do another Happy Mail. Comment if you would like to see a sneak peek of the workshop design that we're going to be teaching August 2nd, and we will give you a sneak peek. I don't think I like this two color technique as much as I thought I was going to. It feels like more work than just, man, maybe because I don't have enough practice at it.
Oh my goodness, that is kind of
Everybody's saying, yes, please. Okay, I'm not going to make you beg. I'm going back to the old school way of how I used to do it. I'm going to have to practice before I do it the other way. What I'm doing is just putting the dark color on the toe, the opposite of what I've been telling y'all. I'm more comfortable with putting the dark color on the toe and then just shading it in to the lighter color in the middle. Kind of like adding it like that and then picking up a little bit of that lighter color and going back beside it to add the lighter color. I think that's and there's more than one way to do these things. I think some people are more comfortable with one way or than another, and I'm going to have to practice that other way to get more comfortable with it. Hang on, I need more jewel green. Debbie says she would like to see the sneak peek. Do you guys have a Happy Mail winner yet?
Uh-huh.
All right. Let's see if I can pronounce this name. Alex Lake. She picked an easy one to pronounce. Alex Lake. If you are watching, send me an email with your snail mail address, and I'll send you some Happy Mail. And as soon as I get done painting this leaf, I will show you guys a sneak peek of what we're going to be painting in the next workshop. Okay, ready? 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 It's going to be quick. And it's gone. Yeah, you had to be paying attention. Hopefully you didn't sneeze or look away. It's all right. You can rewind it and pause it on the replay. But we're going to have sign-ups for that beginning August 2nd. So we can't give you the link to join the workshop just yet, but August 2nd, you'll be able to start signing up. The workshop won't actually begin until August 16th. So we'll have 2 weeks of sign-ups before it actually kicks off. The tutorial will be done live. So you guys, it's not just one tutorial either. It's multiple days. And it's like a several step process. So we will be doing it with you guys live each step of the way. We'll even go live while we're shopping in the different stores so you can see what supplies you need to buy, things like that.
They're saying love it, adorable, super cute.
Awesome. Glad you guys like it.
They're excited, love the double-sided. Looking forward to it.
Okay, here's what my leaves look like. I did manage to get some shading in on them. I'm happy with them, but I didn't quite use the technique I wanted to use. All right, so now that this is pretty dry, it still feels kind of tacky, y'all. Oh, and I just stuck my hand in some wet paint. What is going on? Maybe I didn't know that doing 2 coats of this paint means it takes longer to dry. Oh, Alex needs the email. Okay. All right. I was going to use frog tape, but since this background is a little tacky, I'm worried the frog tape is going to peel up a layer. So we're going to not do that. Shan, if you'll reach in that top drawer and hand me that ruler. It's on the right side. I'm just going to do it the old way I used to do it, which is draw lines and paint inside the lines. I also need a pencil, if you can hand me a pencil. I think they're giggling at y'all's comments. Will you see if there's a pencil in that little rotatey thingy?
It's the camera clicking.
Sorry, I took it away from you.
They think the camera clicking is a typewriter.
Oh, but y'all think we got a typewriter going in here?
How'd you know?
Is this supposed to go? Okay, it's supposed to go like this. I had to think for a minute. All right, so now I'm going to do stripes. I'm just going to kind of freehand. We'll just start them right there. And the stripes are only going on the outside of the circle. So I'm just using the width of the ruler as my guide. And I'm using a pencil. And I'm just going to draw them in. And then I'll just paint inside the lines instead of using frog tape. If I wasn't doing this live, I could just wait until that paint cures and I could use frog tape. But, you know, this is not the magic of television. I don't have this already stepped out. The trick is getting these stripes straight. Flip my ruler around so I can see that sharp edge right there. Okay, we've almost got it. There we go. So now I have my stripes drawn on there. I'm going to get some black paint and we're going to do some stripes on the edge. What's everybody saying? I can't read the comments. They're flying by too fast.
Someone is in sunny St. George.
Ooh, wish I was there.
Where's St. George? Right here.
Is St. George down in like past Florida?
Virgin Islands.
Virgin Islands.
That's just what we're talking about.
Ooh. Okay, I think I'm going to use this, no, this one. This flat tip brush. It's skinnier than my stripes, so that was important. And I like a flat tip brush when I'm doing stripes. So loading the paint up on my brush, and we're just gonna start, let's start at the top and just start with this stripe right here. And I'm just gonna take the edge of that flat tip brush. Sometimes I like to stand it up on its end, put it on the line, and then drag it out.
Could you use a stencil for that?
You could if you have a stripe stencil. I do not have one. And I got too much paint on that stripe right there, so let me pick it up and transfer it to this stripe. There we go. And I've got a little bitty area that I'm having a hard time getting the paint in because this little bitty corner. So I'm going to switch to a smaller brush and get in there. So I use the larger brush because it gives me less brush strokes and it can hold more paint at a time. But if you need to get in a really tight little spot, like I just...
She says it's St. George, Utah.
That's so funny.
It's because we talked to Gretchen about the Virgin Islands.
So our brains are stuck on the Virgin Islands because our friend Gretchen's talking about getting a house in the Virgin Islands. So when you said St. George, we thought you meant the Virgin Islands. That's hilarious that it's Utah and not the Virgin Islands. That's hilarious. I was supposed to get to go to Utah a couple weeks ago to Salt Lake City, but our trip got canceled because we had a death in the family. But that's some beautiful country up there.
Shayla wants to know if they will be able to purchase the blank and get it in time for the challenge, or at least know the size of the circle.
Yes, so the size of the circle is 18 inches. You'll be able to purchase it from us if you want to, or you can just run out to your local Hobby Lobby or some other kind of store and buy a wooden round. We are reducing the price of the rounds that we are selling for that workshop so that they're comparable to Hobby Lobby's prices. So if you prefer to do that, you'll be able to do that as well. And those will ship out in time for you to paint live with us, especially if you sign up on August the 2nd, because you'll be the first ones in. And we're already going to have some of these pre-cut, and all we'll have to do is slap a label on them and send them out the door. So
if they order in time.
If you order in time. That is the key thing there. All right, what stripe was this? This was this one. I need to switch back to my smaller brush to get this little bitty area.
So let's make sure that you keep it.
It's got water on that brush. Hold on. I put this brush in the water and now water's dripping down the edge of the brush. Trying not to make a mess.
Will the rounds be etched on at least one side?
No, because the techniques that we're teaching you for this workshop are using the graphite paper and stuff, so we are not etching anything on it this time. So it'll just be a plain wooden round. So you'll need graphite paper. Yeah, I'm trying to get a clean brush so I can pick that up. I accidentally transferred a little bit of black paint. There we go. All right. Now this stripe. I always advise you guys, if you are painting stripes or something where you need a straight line, to rotate the door hangers so that you are always pulling the brush towards your body. It's going to give you more control over the straight line. So you notice I keep rotating this around. I want to make sure that I stay where I've got a straight line coming toward me. Hang on, there's a little spot that I got outside the lines I got to fix right here. If in doubt, just make that stripe a little wider than the others. Nobody has to know.
Donna's never done a challenge. What does it entail?
We have been doing challenges and workshops for at least probably 3 years now. And we used to do them just in the fall and the spring. And we've started doing them a little bit, you know, here and there in the winter and whatnot, just when we feel like doing another one. But it's really fun because you get to join us live inside a Facebook group that is just for that workshop. And so you get like a hand-holding kind of experience to paint with us that that you don't get when you're just watching here live on Facebook. It's a little different. You get to post pictures of your progress and ask for advice if you're having troubles. And so it really is a guided experience. And it's fun because you get to interact with current members of the Painters Clubhouse, and they can always help you as well if I'm not in there when you're having a problem. They can jump in and probably help you figure out what's going on because, you know, they've been doing this for a little while. Okay, I'm pretty happy with those stripes. They're not perfect, but I think they look pretty good. So here's what we've got so far. Notice now how that shading around the edge of the circle looks with the black and white stripes. It makes it stand out. It doesn't look so flat. All right, so now let's paint the flower, or the zinnia, if you will. I didn't even know this was called a zinnia. I don't know my flowers. I have chosen 3 colors of pink, or coral. I have coral blush, cotton candy, and cactus flower. And they're all kind of a corally pink color. So I'm going to start with this darker one and just put it, actually I'm going to just go ahead and put each one in the egg carton. You don't need a ton of paint for this, so just a little dime-sized amount of each one. And then, let's see. I'm going to use an angle tip brush for this also. This one might be a little too big. We'll have to wait and see. Let me rinse it off. Still got green paint on it. Okay. Let's start. We're going to start with sort of the darker colors toward the middle here. So I'm going to use the darkest one, which is the Coral Blush. One of them matches my lipstick. It may look like that, but my lipstick is actually a lot darker than these colors. But we're going to go around the edge of the center of this flower with the darker color, which is the Coral Blush. And I'm just using an angle tip brush right now. I'm using the long part of the tip or the toe to kind of guide that paint around. And now I'm going to go in and pick up the lightest color, which was Cotton Candy. And I'm going to put it in the middle while that paint is still wet. I'm going to let them kind of mingle together at the edge. I'm going to go ahead and paint the center pink, even though we're going to add a yellow circle later. All right, I'm going to get a little water, dab it off on a paper towel, and I'm going to use that water to make the two colors sort of blend a little better. If you feel like you're getting too much water, just dab it on a paper towel and keep going. And the more you go around that little circle, the more those colors will start to blend into each other. Let me get a little bit more. I'm going to go back and get that middle color too and maybe add a little bit of it. What color was that called? That was called Cactus Flower. And then the lightest color toward the center. So there, now we've got the middle part. Let me show you what that looks like up close. It may need another coat here in a bit because you can see those Sharpie lines pretty good coming through, but we're gonna let that dry while we work our way outward. Let's start with the cactus flower color and just go around with it around the center. Now, don't forget to come back tomorrow when we paint live. I'm going to be showing how to add the monogram to the center part of this. So we're not going to do the monogram today. We'll do that tomorrow. So just be sure you're subscribed to our text list. We've got the number up there on the screen so that you can come back and watch how we add the monogram. Okay, now I'm getting the darker color, and while that pink is still wet, I'm adding the darker color around the edge of those flower petals.
Carol is canning pickles while she's watching.
Oh, I love canned pickles. So Carol, what am I doing wrong? When I can my pickles are never like crisp. They always are like too soft. Am I putting them in the water bath too long? I need canning help. All of the people in my life who used to can have now quit canning or they've passed away. So I need canning advice. I hate how on Facebook up here it's just telling me so-and-so is watching. So-and-so is watching. But it won't let me, like the comments come through in between those and it's harder to catch them. It's frustrating. Okay, I'm going to get that middle color now and kind of go through the center a little bit to kind of blend the colors and to give a little bit more coverage of paint. Okay, it's going to need a little bit more, but it's looking good so far. You love this? Thank you. Hi, Dawn. Thank you. Okay, let's keep working our way out.
Tammy says that's a great question. Nothing like a limp pickle.
We don't like limp pickles. That's so funny. What? I think I've got green coming out of my brush. Hold on. I must not have gotten all the green out of it when I washed it before. all of a sudden it was kind of making all my paint colors look dirty. So I'm just going in with the other two lighter colors and just making that cute little petal, trying to blend it out a little bit. Okay, let's go around on this one. This is kind of therapeutic. Just doing this is like self-soothing. Painting these little flower centers. I'm just adding the colors one at a time. I'm kind of adding the darker color and then the lighter color. I know there's an easier way to do this if you're good at double loading your brush, doing it in one stroke, but I've been struggling with that lately, so I'm just going to do it the way that I'm comfortable doing it. And I got too much water on my brush. Let me see what it does when I add a base coat. I'm experimenting now. I'm going to base coat it with the middle color and see if I get better coverage, because a lot of that white is showing through. And rather than repaint every single petal, maybe if I do a base coat of pink, it will do better, kind of like I did with my leaves. I don't know why I'm being so precise with it. I can paint right over these lines and it's gonna, every petal's the same color. It's just, you have to add it petal by petal so that it looks dimensional. So let's just base coat all of these. You laughing at me or them?
Yeah.
Because I keep changing the method for how I'm doing
No,
this.
because you were sticking in the lines like you had to.
I know. The struggle is real, y'all. I feel like I've fallen off the painting wagon here and I'm reteaching myself how to do things.
It's alright, we're keeping an eye on you.
Yeah. We're used to it.
As long as you guys still find it entertaining, that's what's important.
Oh, it's entertainment. Yeah.
And hopefully people at home realize that, like, hey, I don't have to get it right the first time. It's not gonna, you know, my flower's not gonna be perfect the first time I try to do this. Even Tamara screws up. Yep, even though I didn't been doing this 6 years, I'm still always trying to teach myself more and get better at this, and sometimes trial and error is just a must. My Apple Watch is telling me it's time to stand up.
Stand up.
It tells me that during church too, and I'm like, nope, can't stand up right now. Alright, now that we've got these base coated, this should go smoother. Because the leaves went a lot smoother after I base coated them. Alright, let me try doing this. Oh yeah, that looks better. Lots better. We got any questions? Is anybody asking questions?
Somebody's asking about the white paint you used.
Oh, well, it's great for a base coat if you've got the patience to wait for it to dry, I've decided. Because on Facebook Live, I don't really have the patience to wait for it to dry, and so I got kind of frustrated with it. But I do like that it's got that sealer built into it. It's called the Outdoor Living Paint by Decor. So I don't know that I would use that every time. Like if I was going to a paint party or something like that, I might not want to use it at a paint party because we don't have time for that, to wait for everybody's to dry. Our team did a little bit of painting this weekend when we all got together in Nashville. It was fun to watch them paint. Some of them were surprisingly very good at it. I think they've watched enough videos and consumed enough content that they've picked up some things along the way.
You want to do that last happy mail?
Sure, let's do some more happy mail. You got a question in mind? For them?
What's your favorite shade of pink?
Shan wants to know what's your favorite shade of pink. Let us know in the comments. We'll pick one more person for some happy mail before we wrap it up.
Were you at Brooke's retreat or a different one?
We had our own. We didn't even know Brooke was doing her event until we had already planned our own here in Nashville, or not here, but in Nashville. And Brooke's just so happened to be going on the same time ours was. So we actually did meet up with a few of the people who was at Brooke's event. But for the most part, we just hung out at our Airbnb with the team. We painted, we chatted, we had a great time. We worked, yeah. We weren't supposed to work. It was supposed to be a retreat, but
Stayed up late.
you just can't quite help it. You know, you end up getting a little bit of work in there just because it's all convenient because you can sit there and talk to each person that's on the team.
Just a big girls' night.
Yep. I'm finding it the easiest to base coat with this cactus flower color, and then to go back with the darker, which is the coral blush, and just shade that in around the edges. So that's become my favorite method to do this with. I hadn't even used much of that lighter color though, so I need to add a little bit of that in probably. But you kind of got to add the coral blush, and while it's still wet, get the darker color. Or add the cactus flower and then shade in the coral blush while it's still wet. Otherwise it doesn't quite blend. Okay, let's go back toward the center here. I'm going to add a little bit of this lightest color, which is called Cotton Candy. I'm just going to do it in a circle right through here. And then I'm going to go back and pick up the middle color and shade that out a little bit around the edges. There's not a big difference between those two colors though, so maybe I should just jump straight to the coral blush. Yeah, I like that. Shade the coral blush in. That's pretty. Okay, third happy mail person. You ready? Amy Richardson Falls. Congratulations, Amy. Just send us an email and we will send you some happy mail.
How do you feel about using blending gel?
I've never really liked it. I think it keeps the paint wet too long for me. I tried it and I just wasn't super impressed with it. I know that it really probably works for some projects if you need it to stay wet a good long time, but I didn't ever need it to stay wet that long. And so then I got frustrated because the colors just kept moving when I didn't want them to move. So if you're a slow painter, I could see how that blending gel would be helpful. But I like to paint quickly and move on. Alright, now I'm just kind of touching up some spots that needed a little bit more paint. And then our paint pens and stuff will definitely hide a lot of our little spots that maybe didn't look perfect. So we're going to go back in and add some details with those in a minute. I feel like I've been painting this flower forever. Alright, I think I'm happy with that. Looks dimensional. It's pretty. Okay. Let me dry it. We're going to do a yellow circle right here in the middle. I don't think I need it really that much anymore. Not really think I need it. Do I need to put white in the yellow? I don't know. I've got sunshine yellow. It covers pretty well. So let's just see. If I do, I'll just go for another coat. It's a little harsh. Let's add a little white.
That's what I was
It's a
thinking.
little too neon. So I'm going to add a couple drops of white to it.
What do you use to seal your hangers for outside use?
I either use Rust-Oleum lacquer or I have used Triple Thick Spray by Decor. I really like the Triple Thick. It's my favorite. It gives more of a glossy color than some of the other ones. Yeah, Shan's got a can of it here. So this is my favorite. Triple Thick Gloss Glaze. Thank you, Shan. She's like Vanna White over here, popping things up. Okay, I like that better. It toned down the yellow just a little bit so that it's not so intense right there in the middle. Okay, so now let's get out our paint pens. They're in my little carousel over there. She moved the carousel so she could take pictures, and then I've needed stuff out of it. I rely heavily on this little thing to get what I need. All right, I think that's good. Okay, so now let's use our, let's see. I think I'm going to try the thinner one first. It's better to start small and then move up. So I'm doing this one. It's a 3mm Posca pen. It's got a bullet tip. Let's see what it looks like on here to do some little details. Trying to decide, what do you think? Is that bold enough? I feel like it's not bold enough. We need something a little thicker, so let's put that one away and move up. Shan's handing me the big old daddy here, just in case we need the bigger, bolder ones. This is the 3M size, or the 5M size. So I'll show that to you here in a second. Just tracing right over the lines I just made. You like that better? It is a little bolder, isn't it? Kay says she loves the Posca pens. I do too. So fun. They add a touch of whimsy to everything. So there's our leaves. I may use the thinner ones on the flower. I haven't decided yet. And then I want to do a line around the outside edge. So just barely inside of the circle, we'll do a line. Keep rotating the door hanger. Get it coming toward my body. So even though this isn't a straight line, it does need to be a smooth line. I don't want it to be wiggly.
Where can you get the Posca pens?
I bought all of mine on Amazon. So you can find them in my Amazon favorites. I've got them linked there. But that little circle around the edge just kind of helped tie it up a little bit. All right, let's switch to the smaller pen and see if I was intimidated by using the bigger one on the flower just yet. So let's go ahead and just use the smaller one and see what that looks like. Yeah, I like that. It looks dainty, and that's what I wanted. I didn't want anything that looked too bold. So we're just going around. We're adding some simple little detail lines, just to individualize each little petal a little better. This one I feel like almost has too sharp of a bullet tip because it hangs on stuff. I need to blunt that bullet tip a little bit. Smash it.
You haven't used it enough.
I know, I haven't used it enough, Shan says. I need to smush it down because it feels like it's too sharp. This is fun, doing this part. I always thought adding the finishing touches was the funnest part of doing door hangers. But I can remember in the beginning when I first started doing like those first 2 or 3 door hangers, doing the finishing touches was the scariest part because it's like, I've gotten this far, I don't want to mess it up. So I know a lot of you guys are probably thinking that. So just try to just take it and go with it and do it and be fun. And I'm just adding some little whimsy here. Because sometimes if you think about it too much, then you don't like the finished result.
Sandy wants to know how often you do demonstrations on painting.
So I go live here normally on my page every Tuesday, and I paint live on Tuesdays. On Fridays I go live and I do Friday Fab 5, and I share 5 of my favorite things with you guys. So like the paint pens might be one of them, you never know. But right now we are doing 30 days of Facebook Live. And I have not done a 30-day Facebook Live challenge. And when I say challenge, I'm challenging myself to do 30 days of Facebook Live because that's a commitment. So I have not done a 30-day Facebook Live challenge in 4 years. And you guys, 4 years ago, I barely had 2,000 people following me on Facebook. Now I have 250,000. So it's a big deal. I'm excited. I'm excited to like connect with you guys and to be on here with y'all, sharing what I know and just, you know, showing up for you. So you'll see a lot more of me this month than you normally do just because I'm doing the challenge. So here it is with all the little details on the flower. Look how pretty. So if you want to see me tomorrow, come back and we will add a monogram right here to the door hanger. I don't know yet what time because when I do a 30-day Facebook Live challenge, it might be in the morning. I might show up at night. You just never know. So if you want to be notified when I go live, I want you to text me and let me know. The text number should be here in the comments for you guys. And I will text you and let you know when I'm getting ready to go live. I'll give you like a 5-minute warning, sometimes 10 minutes it just depends on how off the cuff I am with it. But thank you guys for joining me. Thank you, Betsy and Mary. I appreciate your feedback. And let me know if you like this camera angle because this is different from what I normally do. It's a little less fancy. Kay said it really is. I tried for July to do the challenge. I missed some days, but I'm going to keep going. Well, good for you. I think it really helped me back in the day, 4 years ago when I did this, to help me get over my fear of being live on Facebook. And so now my goal is not to get over my fear, but to just show up for you guys and to connect with you and to just have fun. So hopefully you guys enjoy doing this. This is only day 2, so we got 28 more days to go. Don't forget to circle this date on your calendar because that's when Painters Clubhouse opens back up, and send me a text so you can be notified when I go live tomorrow. Bye, you guys.